Ahoy, hoy, everyone. It is Craig at Disney Springs for another Disney Dining Review. Before I get started, I want to remind you this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content and you want to support us, please consider booking your next vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Remember, it costs you no extra money and you get the help from an awesome Dreams Unlimited Travel agent. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. Now today, I am continuing my barbecue conquest around Walt Disney World, and of course at Disney Springs, you have what some would argue is probably the best barbecue all over property, and that's at the Polite Pig. And this obviously isn't my first rodeo here, but it has been a while since I've actually had a full meal. I sometimes come here for sides. I really enjoy the sides. The meat is not my favorite though, and I feel bad saying that every single time because it's usually seasoned very well. It's got good smoky barbecue flavor to it, but it's just not my favorite. But I'm going in with an open mind today with it. I'm hoping I'm blown away. But I have no idea what I want, so I'm gonna have to check out the menu, make a hard decision because I can only eat so much, and we'll go from there. I have my food and it looks absolutely delicious. Now, I haven't eaten here in quite a while, so I really struggled to make a decision, but then I actually looked away from like the big meat section and the sandwich section, and I looked at the shareables and saw that they have a slider trio for $16. And this includes the fried chicken sandwich, the Southern Pig sandwich, and then the low and slow brisket sandwich. So I'm getting to basically try a smaller portion of 3 of the different sandwiches here, all for $16, which I feel like that was a no-brainer to do, so that way I could get the best selection of what they have here at Polite Pig. But the difficult choice is going to be, what do I actually eat first? And I think I'm going to go with the order that I'm going to like this all in, and I think it's going to be chicken last, then pig, then brisket, because you know how much I love brisket. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the chicken, and let's check out what's on the chicken. The fried chicken sandwich is a piece of fried chicken covered in their sweet and smoky barbecue sauce, Duke's mayo on top, as well as pickles and coleslaw. And this thing looks incredibly messy, but it actually does look tasty. Barbecue fried chicken. What could go wrong? I am not going to beat around the bush on this one. This is an awesome fried chicken sandwich. I thought that the barbecue sauce was going to be a little bit too much for me in terms of the sweetness to it, but it really does come through with that nice smoky balance to it. But yeah, it is I believe it's a little bit molasses heavy on there, but it's okay. It works with it because then you have kind of the coolness of the coleslaw and the pickles and that acidity from the pickles kind of canceling it all out. In the chicken itself, it is this perfectly fried, crunchy piece. I believe a chicken thigh, if I'm correct on that one. It just all works together so well. The textures, it's just, I don't know what else to say. The texture of the crunchy chicken with crunchy pickles, crunchy coleslaw, but then that soft bun that it's on. This thing, oh my gosh, I am absolutely blown away by it. And this could end up easily being my favorite of the sandwiches. But yeah, I'm gonna set this one down for now because I want to decide what I want to actually finish last. So I believe I'm going to move on to the Southern Pig. The Southern Pig has pulled pork, fennel apple slaw, tangy mustard barbecue sauce, and then Duke's mayo on it. And I'm a little bit concerned that the pulled pork is going to be a little too dry. However, between the mayonnaise and the tangy mustard barbecue sauce, I feel like that might be enough to bring some wetness back into the sandwich, a little bit of moisture. I mean, obviously you don't want it soaking and the bun's all gross, but yeah, I also don't want really dry pulled pork. So, here goes with the first bite. I'm definitely not as wild about the Southern Pig as I am with the fried chicken. The pork itself is very nice. It actually is nice and it's nice and soft, but then also still has that little bark to it. Good smoky flavor to it. I'm tasting a lot of the mayonnaise, nothing really of the mustard barbecue sauce, and the fennel apple slaw. You know, I was hoping for a little crunch on that, but nothing really at all with it. So it's a lot of the same texture moving through here, except for like the actual bark on the pulled pork. It's still a nice sandwich, but yeah, it could not live up to the expectations that were set in my head after the fried chicken sandwich. Good, but not incredible. But I still have the low and slow brisket to get to before I decide on what is the appropriate order to actually eat all of this barbecue. The low and slow brisket is obviously brisket, pimento cheese, porter barbecue sauce, pickled jalapenos, and crispy onion straws. And I feel like I've had this sandwich here before, but I'm not remembering it. Like, I would have remembered jalapenos and pimento cheese, but then again, I eat a lot of barbecue, so it all kind of runs together. But this one's definitely calling my name. I see that this brisket just looks like it was smoked perfectly. You know, it looks like it's a nice blend of lean and fatty on here, so lean and moist. So hopefully I'm really impressed by it, but gotta take that first bite. The low and slow brisket is not too shabby. The brisket itself, unfortunately, mine is extremely lean, so it is slightly dry, but the bark on the outside of the brisket is still really, really nice. Just the seasoning, the rub that they put on it, it is just, it is popping with flavor. And then it's taking it to the next level with that pickled jalapeno, which I believe is the dominating flavor on this. The onion straws are basically lost in all of this, which I figured they would be. You'd have to pack in so many onion straws to really have them stand out. And the one thing I'm disappointed about is that I can't really taste the porter barbecue sauce on this, but I did actually grab a side of that just because when I looked at the barbecue sauce list here right now, I was like, ooh, that's the one that I think is calling my name. Even though I usually go for the Alabama white style sauce here, something about porter barbecue sauce sounds good. So I'm gonna take one more bite with a little extra sauce on there just to see how that ups it. I am actually incorrect. I thought the dominating flavor was coming from the pickled jalapenos, but it's actually the porter barbecue sauce, which is extremely spicy. It really packs a punch. It is definitely, you know, it looks thick. It looks like a good sweet barbecue sauce when you're looking at it, but it is definitely more on the vinegar side, and then it is spicy. It is really, really spicy, but I like it. I think it needs even more on it, but I'm totally okay with this now that I have that. So I think my order is fried chicken, then brisket, then southern pig. But I still got a little bit to finish up, so we'll get back to that later. The sliders were a lot bigger than I expected. Now for $16, you get 3 nearly full-size sandwiches. And I know the actual full-size sandwiches are a lot bigger, but yeah, they're still pretty massive, especially the fried chicken and the brisket. Those will definitely pack a punch to it. But because I thought I was getting this small shareable slider set for my meal, I decided to also get a side, which right now it's the seasonal side, and it is the barbecue au gratin. And this is potatoes with a cream sauce and then topped with a smoked Gouda, shredded smoked Gouda, and it's all melty together. So it's you know, true cheesy potatoes, but it looks excellent. And I love a good cheesy potato. It's probably not what I need after eating all of this meat, but if it tastes delicious, that's all that matters. I expected this to be good, but I did not expect it to be just as good as that fried chicken sandwich. The smoked Gouda that they're using for this is just really, really good. You know, it packs that cheesy flavor, but it has that smokiness to it, and I love Gouda. I'm not always a huge fan of smoked Gouda, but I think this works perfectly with the potatoes. The cream sauce just adds that beautiful creamy texture to the entire thing. Potatoes, seasoning, it is all here and it's all working together. This is an excellent side dish. You know, it's $6 on its own. If you add it on to one of the sandwiches, I think it only costs $4, or I believe it can also be added as a side to any of the main meats. But yeah, I'm glad I added this on. I didn't need it, but I'm happy I have it. I just wrapped up my meal from Polite Pig, and I am perfectly, pleasantly pleased with how it turned out. Everything was just really wonderful. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I was not a huge fan of the pulled pork that I got in my slider trio for $16. Came with the Southern Pig, the low and slow brisket, as well as the fried chicken. I would not get the pulled pork here again. I feel like I have had that before and I've learned my lesson on it. I just don't like their pulled pork that much. It's not the worst I've ever had, but it doesn't beat your hole-in-the-wall barbecue joint at all. It doesn't even come close. And for the prices that you pay at Polite Pig, it absolutely should. And the brisket, I'll give a pass because I just don't really like lean brisket. I like moist brisket. So had I had like 2 pieces of really juicy, fatty, moist brisket on there, I think I would have walked away saying, wow, that was a really good little sandwich. And of course the fried chicken was just incredible. I savored every last bite of that little sandwich. And you know, I'm usually hit or miss on the sides. As I said going into this, I tried to have zero expectations on everything, but I expected my sides to be good, and the meat, I was open to surprise. And of course the side didn't let me down. And that barbecue au gratin, I wish it could just stay around here all the time. I would come back and get it every now and then as a little treat. So I don't know how long it's here as a seasonal item, but I hope it's here long enough that I can have it at least another time, if not another couple times. And you know, that really just made the meal for me. But it can get a little expensive here. I'm not gonna lie about that. So $16 for the sliders, $6 for the side that I didn't need. Took it up to $22, and then I threw on a little tip for all of the people who work at Polite Pig that come around and bust the tables, get you drinks if you need it, any sauces. And so I think my final bill was right around like $24-ish. So it's, you know, it was expensive for that. If I would have just left it at the $16 for the sliders and threw on a couple bucks for a tip, then that would be a lot better. But it can get expensive real fast. You know, the ribs are $25 or $26. Sandwiches, I want to say, are all $14, and then you have to spend an extra $4 to throw on a side. It might be $13 or $12. I really should have read the menu better. As soon as I saw those sliders, I just went straight for those, and yeah, I didn't pay attention to that, so that's my bad. But I just have nothing but good things to say about my experience at Polite Pig, and I'm happy that I came back, and it will not be as long before I return again, because I want that fried chicken, and I want those potatoes. Heck, I'd probably just get the same exact meal, hope that even the pulled pork comes out better, or even better, I'll eat the brisket, I'll eat the fried chicken, the potatoes, and then I'll save the pulled pork sandwich for my wife and be like, here's a nice surprise for you. A cold pulled pork sandwich from Polite Pig. The nicest present you can give a loved one. But that's going to do it for me and this review of Polite Pig. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please take a second to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave comments, questions, and video suggestions in the comments section below. If you want to support us even more, you can always book a trip through Dreams Unlimited Travel. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for your free no obligation quote. But that's it for me here at Disney Springs. I'll see you again real soon with another Disney dining review. Take care. Bye-bye.